Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Pash On Podcast. Let's get started with your host, Brian Pash.
Hi, this is Brian Pash, and welcome to another exciting podcast interview. On today's show, I got Will McGinnis. He's a director of sales at fullthrottle.ai. Will, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Brian.
You know, I am so excited to catch up with you because I've been writing a lot about first-party data management, identity resolution, dealers instead of only getting 3% of their traffic converting to a lead form, how with first-party data management, with smarter tools, we could see more of when our existing customers get out in the market. We can see and resolve anonymous traffic to households if they opt in, which gives us more precise marketing. This is a data-driven period in the automotive industry. What gets you the most excited when you're showcasing the Full Throttle platform to dealers? Like, do they get this aha moment? Is it excitement to see that you could do more for their existing budget? Or is it more like, hey, there's a lot more that you can do that you haven't even thought of before? What stands out when dealers see this platform?
I think it's a combination of a couple of those things, Brian. I think one, that aha moment's always exciting to see, especially when you are just trying to help your clients move forward and make more money, sell more cars, that sort of thing. There is that component. There's also just confusion. There's a lot of noise out there in regard to first party, third party, cookies, CDPs, DMSs, CRMs, all this stuff out there. And I think a lot of dealers that I've encountered in my 2 years here at Full Throttle has been, trying to understand the value of those things. That's going to help them ultimately, increase their bottom line revenue.
Great. So let's break out a few of the elements to clarify and really let this interview be a way of an educational conversation. So the Full Throttle platform is used in automotive. It's used in outside of automotive. It is a tool that agencies can use, the large dealer groups can use to organize and manage their customer data, to activate it in digital marketing. So they might better understand that stream companies, right, uses Full Throttle as an infrastructure. What makes the Full Throttle platform different than just, say, another marketing automation platform that could be sold on the marketplace? What makes the platform different? Then we'll talk about the elements of the platform.
Sure. I think the really awesome thing about our platform, and we built it for car dealers out of stream agency, out of our stream agency, 28-year agency that has been around, catering to car dealers for a while. The platform itself is turnkey. So the greatest thing about this platform is that you have the ability to log in, dive in, and like manage that information. But should you not need to or want to, it is built from a machine learning AI component capability to just execute on their behalf to put their brand in front of those prospective customers to help bring them back.
Great. So let's talk about some of the elements of Full Throttle. There is a patent on the ability to resolve an anonymous shopper who opts into sharing their location down to a household. And this gives your customers a strategic edge. Can you explain how your patent is giving dealers more opportunities to recognize the people who are on their website and to get their brand message in front of them?
Sure. Yeah. So we took a totally unique approach in this identity resolution. A couple of components that are critical to us and to our clients is privacy compliance. So it's an opt-in tech. That tech resolves to that address. It is not utilizing third-party cookies. It's not using IP address. It's not using MAIDs, mobile ad IDs. And the reason that is critically important today is that third-party cookies are being deprecated across browsers. Google announced at the beginning of this year that they've deprecated third-party cookies on 1% of its users with the intention to fully deprecate by the end of the year. We'll see if that happens. MAIDs can constantly be broken with iOS, privacy restrictions constantly
Right.
being updated. There's a lot of those components that can be broken. And with our tech being around that longitude, latitude, that location, we're able to build that profile around that residential address and identify that household, which is buying a car is a household decision in a lot of cases. So this is just a unique way that is also kind of future-proofed in our method of identifying those households, those shoppers.
So effectively, your patent identifies the devices that exist in a household. So let's use the application of your patent in a way a dealer might understand. So let's just say a dealer has 50,000 people or 50,000 sessions a month coming to their website. And of that, let's just say, 40,000 are unique users. Okay. Those 40,000 could be coming in from multiple devices, I'm assuming. I don't know what your research, but if a dealer said I have 40,000 users coming to my website a month, what percentage of that traffic, using 40,000 as an example, would they be able to resolve to a household?
Yeah, so could have picked 100,000 for me just to make math easier, or 10, but I would say about probably 10 to 15,000, maybe a little bit more.
Okay.
And that's due to the fact that we see about 3 to 5 devices per household on any given resolution, like whether it's from at a dealer level or kind of a global level. We
Right.
see about 3 to 5 devices per household. And so when you take that 40,000, though, all those unique sessions, and you put it in the perspective of, I'm on my laptop, now I'm on my phone, now I'm on my
Yep.
tablet sitting on the couch, and I texted my partner, and now we have 4 devices. All of a
Yep.
sudden, you have those 4 unique sessions resolved to the same residence.
And that's very unique because dealers have always said, and honestly, until I first learned about your technology through David Wren, and then Todd Hauser and I did a tour around the country talking to dealers
Oh
about
yeah.
that with your partnership with with Spectrum Reach. Um, how many times have we heard dealers say, I get 40,000 users to my website. How come I don't get more leads? Well, I think they're looking at that bigger number. They didn't think about devices. And personally, for me, like, for example, Carrie and I are renovating a home. I am looking on my desktop that I'm on right now for lights on Amazon or websites. I'm sending links to Carrie. Carrie's looking on them typically on her mobile phone or her laptop. And then I'm on my mobile phone. So you're right. For one shopping period of looking for lights, for example, there's 5 devices from our family looking at the same products. So I think
There's a reason.
that's important.
Yeah, and there's a reason why one of our bigger other industries is home services. By the way, Brian,
Yeah.
happy up there. Yeah, so I think there's a couple of things there, right? So you have that, you have the multiple devices, and then two, also you have, a society today that is an instant gratification society, but also a research driven, especially with these high consideration items like a car with
Yeah.
interest rates, with, the just the expense alone of a vehicle today versus like 10 years ago. These are like big decisions. And, one of the things that we're seeing is not only is that journey not linear, but in a lot of cases, that research starts well before you identify that prospect. by way of a lead, that research started a lot
Mhm.
longer ago than you may think. And so the great thing about what we see anyway is that that journey is a continual one that is coming from a lot of different angles. And they're not going to give you their information until they're ready. And usually, and I just saw this in the education space as well, like that decision went from like a student's application to enrollment. It used to be about a 2, 3 month window. It is now less than 3 weeks.
Hmm.
So now, even prospective students for universities and higher education, they're seeing that window from actually getting their information to enrollment is so tight. We're seeing the same thing with buying a car, with remodeling a house.
Yeah, I know TransUnion recently published a study, and the study set was, I don't know, 700, 800 people who recently bought a car, and something like 35% submitted a lead the day of or the day before, 1 to 2 days before they actually visited the dealership. Um, Now, of course, those are the maybe more confident, but I love the fact that you can resolve to a household. So if someone's shopping 2 weeks out, right, or 3 weeks out, the dealer can send a direct mail piece to that home, to the residents of that home. But if that customer, that anonymous shopper who opts in, is in the dealer's DMS, right? Now we not only know, oh, this is this home address, but now I know their name and phone number, so the dealer could do a customer check-in call, a health check call. You know what I mean? Like, hey,
Sure.
how's your vehicle doing? So you're taking the traditional national average I'm seeing now is about 3% of website traffic converts into a lead. Now you're really expanding the dealer's ability to retain customers, because when an existing customer is back on the website, they can be notified. And then also those anonymous shoppers via, social media, Google, or, even a direct mail piece, a targeted piece based on,
Yeah.
maybe the vehicles that they've been searching.
And I mean, I guess a little product plug here is that our mail, our direct mail, we call it smart mail, and one of the biggest reasons we do so is because I call it earned mail. And what I mean by that is, think retargeting for the other components, display, social, but just a little bit more sophisticated, a little bit more precise because we
Yeah.
have that household. But the smart mail, our AI is also measuring the propensity to transact, right? That propensity to act, whether that be service or sales. And once it hits a certain threshold, that's when that mail deploys. So it's 1 to 1 versus just like, hitting all your shoppers and within 50 miles of your dealership or what have you. That mail is actually earned mail that is going to arrive within a day or two after they've hit that certain threshold. And the way our AI is measuring that is time on site. How many times have they come back? How have they gotten to your site? All of those things, whether it's identifying, a certain segment like new cars or used cars or like down to the model, we're able to like really kind of fine tune our approach to those prospective customers.
Let's talk about one of the other holy grails of marketing, attribution. I have to imagine, since you're able to see thousands of people who visit a dealer's website and their home address. This is the key, right? When
Mhm.
dealers are doing advertising on Google or Facebook to these audiences that you've created, right? So you're retargeting and you're saying, "Hey, I'm spending money on Google and Facebook. These people are included in our audiences." Now that you have their address, you have an increased ability to match back to actual sales, right? If you think
Right.
about it, right?
Mhm.
Um, you do a streaming campaign, right? Because like Spectrum Reach, right? They advertise to the household level, right? So, hey, this person was on my website. I could do a direct mail piece, smart mail. I
Mhm.
can include them in a streaming audience, you know. But how do I measure attribution? In the past, dealers are like, well, I'm going to match them up to leads. but they know that so many of their customers who bought didn't submit a lead, but they're on the website. I'm assuming this makes dealers also feel much better about their marketing, right? Because you'll be able to see which homes were exposed with an ad and how many of those homes were exposed, bought, but didn't submit a lead.
Yeah, and not only that, not only do we match, we're plugged into the DMS, so we process their sales and their service appointments every single month, throughout the month, really, but like let's for the sake of time, at the end of the month, we're processing that data. And not only are we seeing the households that we advertise to, like utilizing the tactics, whether it be, through our partnership with Spectrum or whether it just be straight up Google display, Facebook, etc. But we're also seeing and measuring and tracking how those households are coming to the site. So not just like a click to our ad or anything like that, but we also want to measure that journey in totality. And so, that holy grail, you use a word that I use a lot, that last touch attribution, but I call that the holy grail that everyone's been chasing
Yeah.
for some time. And what we see all often, like very, very often, is that journey started by clicking a pay-per-click ad, and then they clicked an email that the dealer sent out, and then they came by way of a Facebook community page, and then they came by just an organic, typed in the dealer's name, and then they clicked on an ad. Oftentimes we see one, two, three, four, five different sources from that household throughout their journey. And so while, we don't necessarily claim conversion, like they clicked our ad, we take credit for it. What we do like to showcase is like that one, that journey is not linear, but two, of those tactics that you're using outside of a partnership with us, which ones are being more effective in driving that traffic to your site?
Are you able to track which dealers have inflatable gorillas on their lot as an attribution source, Will? I'm just trying to understand if maybe you have cameras looking at cars and seeing if they smile at the gorilla. Any upcoming product releases that include the waving stick figures or gorillas? Give me an update on that, because that's truly the last holy grail.
Yeah, sadly, we don't have anything on that physical type of advertising, but maybe if we can throw a QR code on the guy that's flipping the arrow outside the dealership, we might be able to grab some.
Bingo, bingo. I see that. I see that. 12 accidents were created as the consumers were trying to scan the QR code on the rotating arrow. Will, let's talk just about compliance. You mentioned privacy compliance, opt-in. Let's just pause a minute and just say that there's more and more privacy concerns and laws. And one of the key features of Full Throttle is that all of the data is in one platform. It can be pushed securely into Facebook or Google or to email or to Spectrum Reach, all encrypted, right? So we're not cutting audiences or lists as a CSV, emailing them, right? You in the platform, once the audiences are created, right? You can connect directly into Meta, directly into Google, directly into Trade Desk, right? I mean, this is another whole area that a first party data management and marketing automation platform built in one solves, because whether dealers think about it, how many vendors have, CSV dumps from their CRM and DMS that you have no idea where that data is today, especially after you cancel a vendor? What can you say about these direct integrations and, compliance on making sure that customer data is handled properly?
Yeah, so we have not only do we have a rigorous opt-in, like our whole patent's built around the fact that the data that we're collecting is you know a permission-based data collection. But
Yep.
on top of that, we're also SOC 2 compliant in how we manage the data. We don't append or touch the data in any way. And so like managing that data too. In order to pull that data out, you have to meet a pretty rigorous criteria to pull that data out. It is our dealers' data.
Right.
It is very important that dealers understand it's their data. They can pull it out at any time by meeting the standards of that API documentation, which we have on our website, that we provide that information transparently and how you can access that data. And once we verify that it can safely be handled, because it is PII,
Right.
then we will give that key to that API. And from managing it, if a dealer doesn't take that data, we do have a kind of a destruction path. Like they have a certain amount of time if the partnership ended to extract that data. Otherwise, it is destructed.
Right. When you think of all the choices on the market, in what I'm going to call hybrid CDPs, MAPs, just marketing automation platforms, MAPs, and then um, less transparent platforms that just say we do everything. One of the nice things about Full Throttle is that the platform itself enables dealers and agencies to leverage your patented technology, tech stack, and the ease in which these audiences or lists of customers dynamically are managed. But it's not a closed system, right? So if a dealer wanted to run some of their campaigns in-house, have an agency run some of those campaigns, right? It's the dealer's data. You're providing the infrastructure, but it's not like, hey, if a dealer signs up with Full Throttle, they have to do all your marketing through you.
Correct. You do not have to do the managed services turnkey marketing. It could be a data collection component. Um, Oftentimes, what I've seen is just the challenge in being able to activate addressable household data at a level of sophistication through the likes of Google and Facebook as an example, which we take that burden on. Um, and we're very transparent in how we price out. It's price based per household. But a dealer is not required to do marketing. No.
Right, great. Well, that's important to understand because, there's some platforms that are closed ecosystems, right? Where a dealer, the platform does some identity resolution, some data unification, some data hygiene, but they also want the dealer to use them for their Google campaigns or social media campaigns or
Sure.
direct mail campaigns or email campaigns. So, from Full Throttle's perspective, it's really a platform that can be um, remotely managed by the dealer or the dealer and their agency or a combination of whoever the dealer feels is their best advisors. Is that fair?
Yeah, totally fair. And like I'll just kind of, go back to the answer around compliance. And as long as their agency or themselves can adhere to the requirements for the API, the data is theirs. So like I said, it's a first it's a data collection platform. The way we make dealers' lives easier is we have a very easy turnkey light lift to activate that media. Another component, you brought up email a couple of times, but one other component to our product is that existing customer component in which we also activate and nudge based on where they are in the cycle, whether it's their lease is coming up, whether service is needed, that sort of thing, which is also turnkey. Everything we've built has been built to make it very, very light lift.
There's been a lot of conversations in the marketplace on AI and AI this and AI that and AI toothbrush and AI toilet paper, but all joking aside, how is Full Throttle using AI to, as you mentioned a few times, make turnkey, actionable insights and activation of data that makes it just easier for a dealer to deliver the right marketing message at the right time in a privacy compliant and in a data secure way. How do you answer that question? Well, what are you guys doing for AI?
Yeah, great question. So, the first like kind of wave of AI within our platform is that propensity measurement, right? Understanding especially over time, like it learns and learns and learns as the longer the text on the site, collecting that data, understanding the dealer's customers and how they're shopping. It gets better and better at understanding what's next, right? X amount of visits, where their sources are coming from, all of those components that are tied into our propensity measurement enables us and the dealer to understand, the value of what they're doing today in driving that traffic.
Got it.
That's probably the biggest component of our existing platform that is AI driven. One piece that we teased at NADA that we are finalizing and working on right now is utilizing that same type of AI to generate more audiences based on what is happening in and around the dealership and on their site to be able to generate and pull in data, even if it's historic, to understand, like, think lookalike audiences, but like out of your own database in your own traffic, to be able to like cater messaging directly to this subsect of audience that is driven to, maybe this is all service driven, right? Or all lease driven or all
Right.
model driven. Generating those audiences, utilizing the AI to learn and understand what's happening on those dealers' websites.
Well, I'm sure that through AI, especially a dealer that has enough traffic, right? Since you're recognizing the households that are visiting, and since you know when they come in for service and how often they buy cars, um, uh, I would imagine that's able to build these models, right? People and then I guess if you enhance it with some additional outside data, life cycle data, buying power data, then you could say, hey, I got these customers that are very active in service, and this is what they look like. How do I find more? Within my DMS or outside. I love the direction where AI is possibly taking these very, very difficult data sets or robust data sets and simplifying into actionable insights. Well, one of the reasons why I'm excited to talk about Full Throttle is because over 2 years ago, I started writing more actively about first party data management platforms, customer data platforms, the integration of marketing automation with identity resolution, and Full Throttle's right down the line in the center of this conversation. Proven technology that's been powering great agency campaigns with stream companies or other agencies that dealers may not know about, but now expanding outside of automotive just because the tech is that solid. So it's exciting to have your team at the Digital Marketing Strategies Conference. Thank you for sponsoring and being involved in the conference. It's a great event for dealers who are looking to do more with their first party data, to think of new ways to activate their data, how to suppress people from audiences based on activities on their website, and add people, even anonymous people, into their marketing stack and workflow because of your patented technology. Well, for dealers who are not familiar with Full Throttle, would like to get a demo, what's the best website for them to go to?
It would be fullthrottle.ai.
Come on, I love that domain. You were thinking ahead. You were thinking ahead. I love that. Well,
Yeah.
dealers should know that at the DMSC conference this year, ticket holders also get access to 4 online courses. I am doing an online course on first-party data management and CDPs. So not only do you get the live experience, but there's a course on the latest in Google Ads, the latest in social media advertising, modern lead handling processes led by my brother Glenn, and I'll be doing one on first-party data management. There's a lot of education that needs to happen for dealers to get the bug, to get excited about getting serious about managing their first party data with platforms like fullthrottle.ai. So make sure when you sign up for DMSC, you get access to those 4 courses. The conference is June 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in beautiful Austin, Texas. You can go to digitalmarketingstrategies.org to get your tickets. It's going to be an amazing show. And well, I'm excited because down at the show, your team, Stream, and Dealer On are going to be talking about this technology partnership, this data and services strategy to help dealers sell more cars in a digital age. How's the market responding to that partnership, that announcement that was made at NADA?
Yes, sir. Really good, really positive. We're just scratching the surface of this partnership. From a full throttle perspective, I'm really personally excited about how their Signals product is going to really kind of take on the market in regard to website, just kind of website advertising as a standalone product, but also our partnership in helping their customers collect that first party data.
Right. Well, we'll learn more about that at DMSC. So I want to thank everyone who took their time to listen to this interview. Thank you, Will. And if you enjoyed this interview, you should know this is one in the series leading up to the Digital Marketing Strategies Conference. So make sure you search on your favorite podcast player, the Brian Pash podcast, and listen in to other industry leaders, innovators, and dealers who are taking automotive retail to the next level. Thanks for watching. Will, thanks for being on a show, and we'll see you in Austin for the DMSE conference.
Thank you for having me.